He's got the longest tail though. He's got to grow into this tail. Is that picture it looks well, I've been gone for almost a month. So what's
see what happens on Saturday.
still looks very nice.
HCBocm, but I just didn't know if there was
I'm great. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Thank all you folks for being here tonight. I ask our County Attorney John Taylor if you have the invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all of our many, many blessings that we have that you just give us every day. Our freedom, our ability to be able to come to meetings and to be able to voice our opinions. And we pray that you would guide this commission tonight as we go forward to do the business of Harris County. And we also pray that you would help each one of us to do the best we can in your sight for all the many, many things that we do. And again, thank you for our many blessings. And these things we pray in Christ's name. Amen.
Before we start the rest of the meeting, I would like to explain to you this picture behind us is a picture, obviously, of our courthouse, which was built in 1908. Beginning in April this year at the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia annual meeting, it kicked off the centennial year, 100 years of the Association of County Commissioners, which started 100 years ago as a group of people that wanted to take better advantage of the federal highway funds made available to each of the states, and it was for the state of Georgia. So that meeting was kicked off in centennial year was kicked off in Savannah, Georgia. This is the painting of our courthouse. A photo was taken by Greg Newington under contract with the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. There will be numerous events that occur during the year for the centennial celebration. It started, as I say, in Savannah at the annual meeting, and there were representatives from all 159 counties in the state of Georgia present there, and there were particular recognitions that happened throughout the conference in addition to classes and that type, and meeting of vendors and that type of thing. But this is the painting of our courthouse that we have purchased. And this is, we felt it would be a good place for it to reside here. So that's the explanation for that. First item then on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for the regular session of July 15th. Appeal hearing of Edward Walker, also July 15th, and then a special call session for the approval of the millage, setting of the millage rate on July 22nd.
Chairman, I move for approval of the minutes of all three of these meetings.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have one change.
Yes.
Nancy, on the regular session minutes under recess for executive session, has me making the motion and you making the second.
Good trick.
Okay.
All right. Any other discussion? All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. All right, appearance of citizens. We have 4 signed up, and Nancy, do you have any others
Yes, sir, we have 7 more.
on different subjects?
One is for the JCG Foods, one is for the videotaping, and then 5 are for Washington Road paving.
Okay. Thank you. All right, first on the agenda is Mr. Scott Moy, discuss JCG Cook Foods. Mr. Moy?
Scott Boyd, 14126 Highway 116, I'm out about it.
Same address?
Same address, same place, same station. I guess I'm back just to reiterate where we're at on my problems with the plan up there, and has anything been done in the last 3 weeks since we met? Do I need to go to Greg?
Mr. Wood, would you please read?
About the only folks I've made any progress with is GDOT. I told them Bobby Harrelson was going to come and get him if they did. Did you hear that, Bobby? Anyhow, I asked them to look at the ditches at that site, and they agreed that they could use some attention. When they're going to get to that and what they're going to do, I don't know, but when they do, hopefully that'll divert some of the water or all the water from your property. It's going to put on somebody else, but it's going to solve your problem hopefully.
Is that right thing to do?
Well, they've got some property down the road, according to Mr. Wyatt, that maybe they can divert some of the flow down there. But if they do any, we had a long discussion. He worked with several of the counties, the larger counties, as far as them doing some of their control facilities, and he suggested some things to do, and I said, well, how do we make them do that? He said, you can't. So I said, thank you very much. So
Can't make them do what?
do the retrofitting to keep the wastewater, the surface water off your property because of grandfathered. So if at some point in time, you know, they go to expand the parking lot, then we can enforce the current standard. I think the chairman and I have discussed it, and we're going to try and sit down and meet with them in the next couple of weeks, see if we can encourage them along that line.
Encourage.
We can't force them.
Greg, last time we said we talked about the health department. Have they been out there, or are they going out there to check some of that fluid?
That's EPD, that's not health department.
Okay.
Well, that's my whole problem. I've got contaminants running on my property. I mean, it's no doubt about it. And, you know, can y'all tell me there's nothing to be done about it? You know, somebody needs to be chief, somebody needs to be Indian.
Mr. Moore, we will get EPD to come out and check that effluent, so that if it's something that shouldn't be running out of there, that we, at least we got something to go with.
And I don't know what we probably need to do, and I probably maybe need some help from the health department to make it a proper sample. Is to do a sampling event, because to call EPD when those runoffs occurring, they're not going to show up. So,
That's what that's what the health department.
well, that's where they can help us potentially do a legal, you know, an evidentiary admissible sample.
If we're having trouble getting EPD there, should we perhaps listen to help with some of our state representatives?
Well, again,
They might have some more influence over
They
the
might,
State
but-
Department.
but again, how do you time it so that you get EPD there when the situation's occurring? You know, that's the problem, because by the time it's occurred, the event stopped, and you don't have any evidence.
But these things take place at a particular day or time, so we can try to
Well,
get
most-
somebody
Well,
there.
runoff is only when it's raining.
Okay,
My problem with it is when it rains.
okay.
Because, you know, they drive, all that stuff's on that parking lot up there in front of that place, and it's packed in. Then when it rains, here it comes.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to predict when we're gonna have a shower.
Well,
I think that's why the health department will take a sample and analyze it, is what's important. And at least we've got something that,
Be easier to get them out there.
yeah.
At the time.
And do you have a particular point, I guess I'll give it to you, get a particular point on your property that we can sample and get permission to do that if you're not there?
No problem.
Okay, we'll work with you on that. We've got your phone number in your minutes.
And yourself. Scott, last time we were here, it sounded like we were making some improvements on some of these things. That's my question tonight is anything getting worse?
So, yeah, the smell's getting worse. The only thing they ain't done anything about is the trash. I'll give them the trash. They're almost up to snuff on it, so I don't even mention it no more.
But the smell's
The
just...
smell, I've been out for the last few days, is rough. I mean, it's just getting worse. The noise is picked up twice as much.
Trucks beeping.
Well, the trucks and the boiler back there, when it's running, plus they've added about 2 new noises. Sounds like a pallet, a heavy pallet being dragged across the concrete. And it's just, and like every day here lately, there's something different. And it's, when you put them all together, it's getting tough down there. You know, and I talk to people around as I run into them, and they hear it. It's not just me, it's all the way around it. And you can hear it up to a mile or two away easily. And if you get in the right spot, it sounds like it's right there in your front door. But no, nothing has gotten better whatsoever. And I've got to meet with him Friday. I'm going to go up and talk to him Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Because I want to see how he feels, because that's what he told me last time I talked to him. He said, give me 2 months. I gave him 2 months. And I'm going to go up there and talk to him and see what he says. Because this has got to stop, or it's got to be toned down or something. You know, I know y'all wouldn't like it in your front door, constant. And that's what it is. It's not just, you know, in the evening at a certain time. This is 24/7 almost. They don't run every Saturday, but when they run on Saturday, if they're not running, they're doing something else. Sunday is about the only day that's halfway peaceful for us. You know, it's hard to go outside and enjoy yourself when all you hear is and every other noise under the sun.
The EPD covers water, obviously. They cover air as well? I would think so.
Yes,
Do we know that?
air and water.
Air.
And
Can we get them to measure the air quality as well? While they're there?
we can ask them. I don't know if they have anything to measure the tank, but that has a certain yield level.
Well, if there's anything in it that's dangerous, we can know about it.
Yeah.
Other than just the smell. I know.
Just when you walk down the street in Hamilton at the chicken truck, come past, you get an aromatic, unrefreshing aroma.
But picture that about 20 times worse. That's what we put up. I mean, it can get, I'd say certain days, when your statement last time about, you know, the reason it is, which I understand that at certain days you got to do with class and all this, but it doesn't matter about all that, it still smells. And it's smelling worse. Because where I'm at, I don't notice it all the time. Because I got some trees, I got a little break from it. But lately I smelled it every day. Every single day. And most days it's actually worse. And that's kind of my problem with them. I mean, how can they just keep on going like nothing's happening? They've been there, what, going on 2 years now? Or whatever. They have not made an effort to do anything whatsoever about the noise, about anything, except the trash. Well, the trash, that's an easy thing right there. They took the easiest one, done something about it. But that's a no-brainer. But these other ones got to be addressed one way or another. And that runoff, I don't care what anybody says about the runoff, it's coming in my pasture. And I don't want that coming in my pasture. That's it. I mean, I don't care what they claim, well, it's okay. No, it's not. Because y'all saw what the pasture looked like. I showed it other places. It's so overgrown from all the nitrogen and ammonia, it's pathetic. So, I guess my 5 minutes are up.
Let me know when details you Friday morning, if you would. Please. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Who's the other one that signed up on this one? Bobby Harrison. Ms. Harrison?
Bobby Harrison, 159 East Circle. Largest, oldest subdivision in this part of Georgia. And I have been living there longer than anybody that is alive today. Until I'll be 83 years old Saturday, Friday. Until my toes are turned up, I'm gonna be over here. If Scott will let me ride with him, and I'm gonna fight this thing every single legal way I can do it. Did not treat us right. If you had still not doing anything about it. Scott's right about this man. I walked out of the church Sunday morning. They hit me in both nostrils. As soon as I went through the front door. It was terrible. While we're talking about the church, I'm going to keep this around. We're talking about the church. In church Sunday, we voted. Everybody voted for it. We hooked on, go from propane to natural gas. Then we found out that we're going to have to buy a permit from Harris County just to change it over. Well, Harris, did y'all buy a permit in Cocoa Lake? Thank you, Dancer. It's not the $55, it's the principle. That anything you can throw at us, you do. Obama said, 2009, when he played his inauguration, election have consequences. Harry, you didn't care. Hamilton, High Mountain Valley, Shiloh, before we show some of the consequences from it. Now, I've got a few more minutes. This agenda today is not in compliance with the law that Governor Deal signed in the law 830 days ago, and you're still not in compliance. Read the law. You see what I'm talking about? It's plain and simple. The agenda supposed to be on the website 7 days before the meeting. It wasn't on that at 9 o'clock last night, but it was at 9 this morning. That's not 7 days. That's not even 4 or 6 days. I said last time, if we'd been in compliance with this law, the people would have known what was coming at us, and we would have filled this room up to when the fire marshal would have probably come in here and shut it down. But we didn't know. You come out the wild blue yonder, like I said, and rammed it right down our throat. And I'm going to fight it. I'm going to hold it against you, because you're the one that done it. 830 days. Everybody out here in this audience ought to be on their feet protesting, because you cannot get in compliance with an open meeting law. I'm on my feet, all anybody else is going to stand up, but you're wrong. You're totally wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Next subject is David Taylor, to discuss the paving of Washington Road. Mr. Taylor, it may help. We do have a little bit of an update that we can give you, and that may help.
I'd love anything you give me.
Greg, can you tell him where we are on that process right now?
Or we're in the process of, we have to get surveys done on all the roads that we're gonna pave, and we're in the process of getting that completed. I don't think there's too much right away we have to get on Washington Road, so that should go fairly smoothly.
We can't hear you,
To do the paving, we have to do surveys first to make sure we have the proper right of way. You still can't hear? You can't hear now, okay. We have to survey to make sure that there's 60 foot of right of way so that we have a place to properly put the road. And we're not doing just Washington Road. The commission agreed to do 10 roads. Washington Road is fairly well completed. We have, I think, 4 more surveys to complete so that we can make sure that we have the right of way for all roads. If we run into any complications on the other roads, not Washington roads, we may have to walk away from one of those 2 roads, one or 2 of those roads and put something else on. Right now you're on track. Once everything's done, surveys are ready, we'll get the plans ready. It'll probably be spring before we're ready to go ahead with the paving, because we'll probably be ready to go late fall, but you can't pave in late fall because it's too cold. So we're anticipating probably letting the contract early spring if all goes well.
Can I just say this? I've been out there since 1996, and I don't know how many times I've been told we're on the list.
We're spending money on you now.
I know, okay. But I'm telling you, and then they say, hey, 2 years from now, we're going to have it paid. We're going to have it paid. And I'm hoping what you're saying is right. I really do.
Mr. Clinton, let me kind of interject this also. We have just completed the title examination of all the parcels on either side of the road. There's some 30-odd parcels on the road, and that's a monumental thing, checking titles for 30 people. In the next few days, I'm going to start drawing deeds and getting them to Greg and Nancy to start acquiring the written right-of-way deeds. That is the first road I'm dealing with. We're going to get that one completed before at least I'm going to try to get it completed before we're still working, got titles on the other roads to do, but I understand that we are through with the title work, which is a major undertaking. And so, between now and whenever that's what my next project is to get the deeds available and for everybody to be contacted to sign the right-of-way deed if they want to, or if not, if they don't sign it, then the commission will have to start making.
Well, don't you have 60 foot of right-of-way on each side, and some of them don't?
Not necessarily.
Because I've heard there's 1 or 2 that might not want it done, and one of them, that, if I'm right, doesn't even live out there.
Yeah, which you got 2 different issues.
Right.
The issue is that this is a prescription road, meaning that you own, the property owners that own the front on that road own up generally to the center line of the road. So the county wants the right of way up to the center line of the road, so we'll need to come and get the right of way from everybody. There've been a couple places that the road where it is not within the surveyed right of way, so they're trying to straighten out curves and that kind of thing. So,
well, the other thing is, and I'm going to say this, and I know I've heard about well, we might have to make another road or straighten out some. Right now, it's dangerous. I'm going to tell you that. And there's people who've been run off that road. We have school buses that go up, and I taught school for 35 years. And our precious cargo, as we say, are in those buses. And we've been trying to get this done forever. And this is not, I'm not just saying this to scare. I've seen it. And my wife is a counselor at Park. Kathy, and we all live on this road, was a parapro at Park for years. We know these kids. There are grandkids. There are children. And that's the safety issue. And I have a nephew that's quadriplegic. And he has to bounce up and down on those roads. And in that one spot down there by Morgan Copeland, it's hard to stop. Because it is that bouncy. And people don't observe those stop signs. Because it's a dirt road. And we hope we really hope, and I'm being honest, because we've been told so many times it's going to be done.
Well, this is the first time I've checked the title of the roads, and they told me to do it, and once you start doing that, you know, they're dead serious about it, and this was the priority road number one. They told me that, you know, of those 10 roads, whatever the commissioner was coming up with, there were some others that were shorter than that, could have gotten, but they said, you know, my directions were start on Washington Road, acquire the title, and then right away to Washington Road first.
So if everything goes right by the spring, you think?
I'm gonna have all the title work, hopefully all the deeds, everybody signing the deeds, you know. If some people don't, then we will have to come back and figure out where we're gonna, you know.
If we don't, we'll call you and let you do door-to-door.
Okay, and who is our district representative?
Right now, you technically don't have one until the governor.
Well, we haven't had one for a lot of years, I'm gonna tell you. But,
until the governor makes his appointment, we're having, we'll be without a commissioner.
well, I'm hoping, and I'll stop, but I'm hoping that y'all will really see and follow through with this, because we have been told, and we just don't want lip service again, please.
Mr.
Okay?
Taylor, I'm
Yes,
just
ma'am.
gonna interject this, that you're closer than you were a year ago, I can tell you that.
Well, I know that.
Because we are, yes,
Yeah,
because
okay.
we have all committed to paving minimum.
These are the ones we have picked.
I know,
And also-
this wide, this long.
Yeah, and also, if you have a problem and you don't know who to call, you can call me.
Thank you, Ms. Mason. And I appreciate you listening to me.
Well, and if you want to say anything more, but I just thought, I knew some things have been going on. and I
Oh, if
thought
you tell me you're gonna do it, I'm gonna take it at your word, because my dad always told me a man was only as good as his word.
You're right.
So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir. Now, there were 5 others that wish to speak.
Actually, Mr. Taylor was one of them. Bob Taylor?
So, my son, he gets jarred to pieces on that thing down the road that you call it road. But I just want to know one thing. What is the process? How does paving the road work? Where does it begin? How is it prioritized? How is it budgeted? And why is it taking so long? Can anybody answer that question for me?
I can partially answer one of the questions. They had $10 million budgeted in the last SPLOST for paving. They came up, or was it 12 million? There was a significant amount of money set aside for paving. That money did not come through because of the economic downturn. We do have some of that money left there, which should be enough to facilitate paving these roads. It's
Who
not gonna be-
determines the priorities?
The Commission has already done that.
How?
We voted on that, set the priority.
What facts, data did you use? Exactly.
We looked-
Thank you.
Tammy Fulton? Kathy Flournoy?
We're good.
Ricky Flournoy? You're good, okay.
All right, folks, it is an important thing for us. It has been voted on by the commissioners to do that. The priority has been set, and we know where we are. We will certainly keep you posted, and you will know certainly when the deeds are coming out for you to sign those. And we will be happy to keep you posted.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to be sure that we do, when we make the decision for next year's paving, that we do it in sufficient time, that it's not done in the following year.
Well,
There's things going on.
To accomplish that, we're gonna need to go ahead and do it. We've already need to do LMAPs in the fall. We might as well do the little sheet match so that we can start on all the other process. The only issue right now there is that we run out of money.
Yeah.
And you have a separate public hearing.
And then the other thing is, will you be sure that we're in compliance with the open meeting and things that?
We are.
We are.
We are. I'll provide you with the law.
All right. Mr. Fury, I imagine yours is going to take more than a minute or two, so we have a public hearing that starts in about a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, probably is.
Ready? All right, we have a public hearing on rezoning matter. While I'm going through the procedures, if the commission, please fill out your conflict of interest form. Meeting's been called to order. I will read the application, then we will have a presentation by the applicant or his or her representative. Following those comments, there will be comments by individuals in favor of or in support of that application. And all of those who've been heard, we will then hear comments from those individuals who are in opposition to this application. And those who have been heard, we will then have a summary or rebuttal statement from the applicant or his or her representative. We will have final questions and whatnot from commissioners, and after that has been done, we will then close the public hearing and take action on this item. This is a zoning application by H. Walker Tyree, 4474 Judson Bullock Road, Warm Springs, Georgia. Property in concern is U.S. Highway 27. Which is just south of the intersection with 208 and north of the intersection of Goolsby Circle coming in there. It's in land lots 6, 7, and 27, land district 21, parcel 061, 029B is a boy. It's 1.033 acres, and that the amount to be rezoned is 1.033 acres. Present zoning is A1, and requested zoning is C3. Present use is agricultural timber. Proposed use is commercial. One of the purposes to construct a commercial building. It has gone before the Planning Commission. They have recommended approval with conditions. Those conditions are: 1, required 20-foot front setback to be a minimum of 10 feet, a landscape strip, and a landscape plan is to be submitted to and approved by the Harris County Community Development Department, with the rear yard setback kept as a natural vegetative state as possible. And because of the narrow shape of the lot, an increase in the front setback would encroach upon the building area of this lot. The building front, back, and side shall be of masonry, which is either brick or stucco. Parking lot shall be paved. Consideration shall be in place to create connectivity with the C3 parcel adjacent to the south of the property, if and when an active commercial use resumes. The signage of the commercial use shall be restricted to one freestanding sign if the building is one commercial use. The sign should be no greater than 64 feet. Double-sided sign with a maximum height of 6 feet. But if there are additional uses, i.e. different businesses within that building, the sign should be 64 square feet with a maximum height of 8 feet. The number of signs allowed on the building should be limited to 25% of the area of the wall up to a maximum of 100 square feet. DOT approval must be received for egress to the site. That is the application. As I say, it was recommended for approval with conditions. And if Mr. Tyree is here, please come forward and tell us what you want us to know, sir. And how is your name pronounced? Tyree.
Correct. For the record, my name is Walker Tyree. I'm the owner and applicant on the rezoning application. I reviewed the staff report, which you just read the last paragraph. It's very comprehensive and well done by the staff, particularly Ms. Hathaway. There's very little we can add. As the report states, it has no impact on the county resources, on the traffic, the lights or water or anything like that. I'd like to talk a little bit about the exact location of the building. This is a triangle-shaped lot. It's 470-something feet on the backside, 176 feet on the side where the other commercial site is located. We've been on the site a couple of times with some builders. We've located a good spot. We can put maybe a 3,000 square foot building on this without any trouble. The minimum square footage for C3, as you probably know, is 5,000 square feet. There's a total of probably 42,000 square feet in this tract. So if we locate the building on the wide side, which is the south side, we'll have plenty of room to put the septic tank in the back, and we'll have a 20-foot setback in the front and a 20-foot setback in the back. On the south side, the adjoining lot is a C3, so we can pave right up to the property line, and we have a place on the south side for parking. Again, the septic tank will go in the back, and we will run the septic tank drainage field down towards the narrow side. It's fairly level on that area. The elevation is fairly consistent all the way down to the property line on the triangle side. Talk a little bit about what's planned for that as far as the commercial site. It's going to be a dance studio for young people, high school grade and below. We feel this is a worthwhile project because they'll provide training for the young people. As the report says, there's commercial on the south side, commercial directly across the street. 4 lots down is a VFW, and there's a couple of residential parcels in between this tract and the VFW. Across the road from 172 acres of planned residential community. They call it a pod. Behind that, directly behind it, adjoining on the west side is A1, 52 acres. And as the report says, it has no impact on the surrounding property. The staff recommends approval, the zoning people recommend approval, and we respectfully request your consideration for approval on the plan. I'll yield the floor to you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tyree. Anyone here who wishes to speak in support of this application? Anyone wishing to speak in support of the application? Please come forward and state your name and your address, please.
For the record, my name is Nathan Kensall. I am the husband of the owner of Center Stage Dance Studio. We are planning to buy the lot to build a dance studio on roughly 3,000 square feet. We've been in business for 15 years in Harris County. We're ready to expand. We've outgrown every facility that we've been in before, and we can't seem to find any place in Harris County big enough. So we're looking to build our own place, make it specific for our needs. The only thing as far as the recommendations that the planning committee made is to the effect of the masonry being on all 4 sides. We feel that may be cost limiting to our ability to build, and therefore we're requesting that you make an adjustment and make it frontage, or maybe 3 sides, or any side that's visible from Highway 27 to be masonry and leave the back open. Our plan, as it stands, is to try to use a metal fabricated building so that we can maximize our square footage and minimize cost. I don't know anything else that I can tell you.
Mr. Chairman, when you said masonry, though, that includes stucco, correct?
Yes.
Stucco, does that, you can have styrofoam boards with stucco coating, and that would meet the requirement, and that would add insulation, and the board may yield to the backside. But there's also another material that the board may consider, and it's the same material that the Copeland building used, and it's an interlocking metal building that looks just like masonry, that we may be able to discuss. I don't know if it's going to be cost effective for you or not. It would certainly cut down on your heating and air conditioning bills.
Okay.
But that's something we'd have to research on your behalf or give you the information.
That's right. The biggest thing that we're concerned about is hopefully being able to do, like I said, a metal building and then doing some sort of masonry facade instead of, if we have to do a total brick building, we'd end up having to change the way, from what I've been told, having to change the way that we built it.
And that's not what you're saying. You can put that stucco facade very easily on a metal building.
Okay, so that'd be okay with y'all then?
That's what I'm interpreting. And I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
All these people in pink yours?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're with us. Yes, sir. I feel like we've been a positive effect on the community. Like I said, we touch, every year we touch close to 100 young kids. Touch their lives weekly. Positive influence on the community. And we're just, you see us, this is just a small portion of our competition team. You know, when we have our entire competition team, which is 30 girls, we have to dance in the parking lot because we don't have enough room. And so we're expanding. We're trying to bring more business to the county, and we just want to stay here if we can.
Now that they've been mentioned, can we have the dancers stand up? We're here tonight. We certainly want to recognize them. We appreciate y'all being here tonight.
So where's your current business located?
Right now we are renting one of the stalls from Danny Gatlin. I don't know exactly one of the paint places from Danny Gatlin on Highway 27 where the old Fox used to be.
What's the square footage of the current location?
It is, I know the dance floor area, which mainly is all we have. It is about 1,600 square feet, maybe. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'm sorry. It's like 800 square feet. It's 20 by 30. Yeah, close to 1,000 maybe. And then we have one small office and a very small waiting area.
So you're looking to basically triple your
Hopefully,
current.
yes, sir. Hopefully add a second dance room. Right now we're operating out of one room, and our big girls kick each other on a weekly basis.
How many customers are you servicing now in your current location?
Total, we just had our registration this past weekend, and I think we're up to 70. That's from 2 years old to 18 years old.
And if this should come through and you get the expansion to this facility, what would your projection be as far as number of customers?
I'm not really sure. It's almost not necessarily an expansion in the students that we're looking for. It's safety for our existing students and ease of movement to be able to do the dances that we're already doing.
How many parking spaces do you have?
Right now, well,
approximately.
I couldn't tell you that right now because actually we are in a place that has 4 different buildings, and So, and we work in the afternoons, so we don't have any effect on their businesses, so we can park as many places as we want to
I was
park.
concerned about, you know, how many spaces you would need at this location.
Yes, sir, I understand that.
Do you have a projection for that? How many spaces?
How many we'd actually need? In our largest groups, the people that would have the most amount of cars would probably be our toddlers, where their moms actually stay for the whole class, and our classes are only 30 minutes long. So it would be no more than maybe 15 at the most.
What size are your classes?
15, we try to max out at 15. And that's why we're trying to build a second studio, so if we have any, overlap for time or anything like that, we can accommodate and make sure that we keep our numbers down.
This may have been a bad question for Mr. Tyree, but there was some mention of the DOT. Do you know if this is going to be, if it will be required to have a decel lane as you're heading south on 27 at the end of the property?
I do not know that, but I do know that the property as it is right now is on the 3-lane part, the passing lane. The entire length of that property is still on the
3 lanes.
The 3 lane, yes, sir.
2 lanes going south.
Yes, sir. 2 lanes going south.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak in favor?
I'm Jeff Romine. I'm a resident of Harris County. Been here for some time. My business is Romine Construction, which is also here in Harris County. Romine, R-O-M-I-N-E. Yes, ma'am. I would just like to, of course, you saw the little girls standing up and the kids standing up. They kind of speak for all of it. That is based on a positive influence on these kids. That's what the dance school is all about. That's what it's been about. It's a positive influence not only on these kids, but it also will roll over into the county. Kelly, my daughter, who owns the dance school, has done numerous things for the high school because they see how good the dance school has a positive influence on the kids. So therefore, they ask her to do things. There's been many times that she's done things throughout the county because of the dance school. Everything that is connected with the dance school throughout the county is positive. And so her to want to construct her own building and to be able to keep the classes small and to be able to keep it safe is a positive thing. And that's really what we're here for, is we're trying to do something positive, and that's what we're asking you to do, is vote positive for this, because it is a good thing for the county. And so we want to be able to help them out. She's a small business, just like I am a small business. And quite frankly, the small businesses today are kind of getting shoved out, and so we kind of need to help those small businesses out some. And so that's what we're asking you to find favor. You have a lot of folks that are for this within the school and outside of the school, because these kids know everybody. So it's very, very popular, and we hope that you'll find favor. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak in favor? All right. Okay.
Sorry. I'm actually the owner, Kelly Kinsall, and I use my feet, not my mouth. So basically, I've been in business for 15 years. I love the county. I love the kids of this county. They have the heart. They know that you. They know I cry all the time. That's why I don't speak. I work hard for them. I love this county. I want to stay in the county. I have lots of kids that I've watched from 2 years old all the way up to graduate that still come back to the dance school. See me, I've got some in New York right now. I'm in New York right now working in shows. So what we do matters, and it's so awesome to see us win. This summer we won 5 national championships from little bitty Harris County. And it's amazing to watch. And I'm blessed to have the job that I have. And we want to grow, we want to make it to where the girls are excited about moving to a new dance school, and they're excited about being in the county, and they can tell people we're the dance. And that's all.
Thank you, Ms. Pinto. Anyone else? All right, and now we'll move to any folks here that wish to speak against this application. Any wish to speak against?
Someone keeps quoting the amount of land that I own. Back of it, and it's been incorrect. Whoever's been quoting that. I own 55.30 acres surrounding this lot. And they're right on the highway. Their frontage is on the highway. And I don't want it changed from agriculture to commercial. And I do have a house up there on that land, on 3 acres. And I have 55.3 again. And the house is on 3 acres. So I own all that surrounding, around where they want to build it. I have my papers here about the acres in case anybody is confused about it.
And that backs up to, part of it backs up to the horse farm there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak in opposition? All right, hearing none. Mr. Tyree, do you wish to make any closing statements or rebut any comments?
I would. What I've done, if I may, is I prepared some photos of the immediate area, and I only have 5, unfortunately.
We can pass
I would do one with the county attorney, the county manager. I've got these numbered. Number 1 is the C3 adjoining tract. Number 2 is the co-op across the street. There's 2 photos on that. Number 4, I believe, is the one residence that appears to be available between this tract and VFW. Number 5 is the Darvin tract, and it's 52 acres, as the lady said. They have a 3-acre tract, triangular shape, a rectangular shape lot up near 208, which is quite a ways from this building site. The Darvin tract is 52-something acres, but it's all undeveloped. Our lot will not infringe or have any impact on any future plan that the lady might have for that. As far as the building itself, as you mentioned, there's a new church, River of Life Church, just very close to this on the east side, and it has a 4-foot stone wall with stone going all the way to the roof line on each end. The sides and the back of the building is metal. The front of it is hardy plank. We would probably listen to any changes you might want to make. As our problem, as it was turned out, is the all brick building. This has been identified. There's a gateway corridor on 27 coming in and out of Harris County going to Columbus. As you can see from those photos, our building will be a great enhancement as far as the safety and the aesthetic value in that particular area. So I don't see any negatives on it. Right now, the taxes on that property is $160 a year. If we put a nice building on there, it's likely to go up to $3,000 a year or better. So I don't think it's going to have any impact on the county resources and all, so we're respectfully ask for your approval. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Tyree. Commissioners, do you have any questions for Mr. Tyree? All right.
Yeah, if they, are you the prospective builder?
No, I'm not. I own the lot.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The builder did speak a few minutes ago for one of our buildings.
Okay, any other questions? All right, close the public hearing. Entertain a motion on this.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning with the conditions as outlined by the commission.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. I guess I have a point of concern with the conditions and what we have discussed about the building, where there may or may not be an alternative. I don't want just about a building there. So I think I would go along with what's been proposed, but be open if they come back with this other one, this, like the Copeland building, and then we could revisit that one condition.
The Copeland building doesn't look like a metal.
It does not look like a metal building. Okay. All right, any other discussion? All right, all in favor of this motion to approve this rezoning, please say raise your hand.
Point of clarification. I have no problem with your suggestion, Harry. Would that be an amendment to the motion that I made, or should we do that procedurally?
John, what should we do? I mean, I think we just open. I mean, they can certainly come back and request a change in the condition.
That's what you need to do.
Okay, I think that's probably better than trying to complicate it. Pass it as is with these conditions, and yet if they find this is a better alternative for them, then.
Okay, what would that process be? Through Tracy? Is that how that would work?
In a way, you could almost be that that be approved by our department, just like the landscape plan. So they wouldn't have to come back through as a condition.
Can we delegate that particular piece?
Yeah, well, I mean, to answer that question, yes, we could. I would prefer not to.
Does this have any, would the BCA have any jurisdiction over this? The Board of Zoning, adjustments? Okay.
So it has to come back to you.
I think it, yeah, probably has to come back, but not going through the process of the posting and everything again.
Right, just be a quick up down.
Yeah.
Can we do that, John?
No, I think you're gonna have to go,
Process.
you'll be changing the zoning condition. What you're doing is you're rezoning the property subject to these conditions on it. And if you approve it that way and they want to change those conditions, then they're gonna have to come back to you through the ZPA, Zoning Procedures Act.
So we're gonna post it on the sign.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It says, building front, back, and side shall be of masonry, brick, or stucco.
Could you say veneer as opposed to being solid brick?
Doesn't mean something.
No, it's just, it's appearance, it's a gateway quarter, so you want to make sure the appearance is right. Stucco only needs to be this thick over styrofoam. And it meets the qualifications.
For any of the sides or just the back?
Well, it says masonry, stucco, or brick, so it would be any of the sides.
Unless you change that condition.
Three sides you have to have, they can be metal back within that front.
This also specifies the back.
Unless you change it.
You can remove that
Right.
Front, back, inside, yeah.
You say front and sides.
sides.
I'd like to provide flexibility of holding down the cost.
Yeah.
For the back, I think the front and sides, of course, it's visible from 27, I think should look really nice. Yeah. I'm not as concerned with the back. This is chicken, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
You mentioned the River Life Church. That's a very attractive building right there.
It is.
Almost on the corner of 208 and 27. I've never seen the back, so I don't know what the back looks like.
Even the sides of that are metal.
The sides are metal too.
It's all metal, the sides and the back is all metal. That's had a metal roof.
You want to change your?
I'll amend that motion to take out the word back.
Okay.
And condition to,
All right.
so read, building front and side shall be masonry brick and stuff.
Okay, Jim, would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? And all in favor of the motion and to approve it with conditions, and not conditions the same as presented by the planning commission, other than we remove the word back in condition number 2. All in favor of that, signify by raising your hand. Motion carries. All right, thank you very much. All right, now we'll go back to caring for citizens, number 6. Mr. Furin wish to speak about videotaping of the meetings. If y'all want to leave, you're certainly welcome to stay, but between speakers, we would be better off if we make it.
Pink is gone.
All right, Mr. Fury.
Jim Curran, 233 Dogwood Lane, West, Portsmouth, Georgia. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Mr. Wood, Mr. Taylor, Ms. Nancy. We are here tonight to update everyone on the status of the February 19, 2013 presentation with regards to videoing the bi-weekly commissioners meetings and posting them online for public access. After speaking with some of our neighbors and with the help of those neighbors, a site on YouTube has been created entitled Harris County Concerned Citizens. We are still in the uploading learning phase, but believe the video of this meeting will be available to the public by the end of the week. Regardless, as soon as the Harris County Concerned Citizens YouTube site is operational, we will inform the commissioners via email. That includes Mr. Woods, Mr. Taylor, and Ms. McMichaels, as well as our neighbors, asking everyone to pass the information on. We would like to recommend a link be placed on the Harris County website to the YouTube site. This will provide every Harris County resident the opportunity to attend every Board of Commissioners meeting. This would enable every Harris County citizen, resident, the opportunity to be informed of what their elected officials are doing for them, and more importantly, what the residents can do for their Harris County. The videos provided on the Harris County Concerned Citizens YouTube website will be unedited. When they are viewed, the viewer will see and hear the same things as if they were sitting in the chamber during the meeting. Lastly, if there is anything that we, as the Harris County residents, can do to assist the commissioners with regards to enabling the county to provide this asset to their citizens, just please let us know and we'll help as we can. Pending any comments or questions, that concludes my reason for appearance here.
Tim, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Well, one question you already answered, and that is unedited. Is there any commentary or anything associated with it? I've never seen it. After sitting here, I don't want to watch it, frankly. But you know, when you first turn it on, what do you see?
You will see you'll see what you see when you walk. When a citizen walks into the chambers.
So from the back door?
Well, from that position, just the commissioners preparing for the meeting. We usually do a panning of the audience area so that to give an idea of how many citizens are here. And then when the meeting starts, the videoing is of the table of the commissioners. And if someone comes up to this area to speak, if the view is widened out, if someone in the audience speaks, the camera pans that area. So
how's the audio? Can you hear it okay? Can you hear what everybody's saying?
Yes, sir, it's okay. We are going to be looking into possibly tying into the microphones. It definitely would be better. I noticed Mr. Wood pulled the microphone closer to him to ensure that the folks in the back of the chamber could hear. So that would be a plus for this system.
We'll get you all the lapel mics, so mic yet for the meeting would be great.
Can we get a makeup artist? You know, those of us who will help.
Is there any reason we can't link this to the webpage?
As long as there's not, I'm just, as long as you check it, there's that other stuff popping up and ads and stuff that sometimes get added in there on YouTube, and we probably want to look at them a couple of times and see how YouTube handles it before you do, jump into that.
Well, the videos are broke down depending on how long the meetings last. The videos are usually broken down in approximately 20-minute series. So they'll be identified as for example, 5 August 2014, and A, B, C. So then,
will they be archived so that a year from now we go back and look what we did at this meeting?
as many as we're allowed to keep on the site, yes, sir.
I just wanted to thank you. I know it's been a long time getting this far. And people like you should be appreciated.
I agree 100%, and I know the Beards have worked really hard to make this happen. They've spent a lot of their own time and money, and I think it's just another way that we can communicate with the citizens of Harris County, and I think it's greatly needed. Thank you.
Well, thank you for everything that you all do.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir.
Lynn, there's one more to speak.
Yeah.
I'll make this quick. Lynn Sanders, same address. He's not quite as optimistic as I am. I still hold out hope that the county may actually want to do this. YouTube does actually take comments, and that was one of the things that I'm looking at shutting comments off. I haven't figured the whole YouTube thing out because I'm kind of like Mr. Loudermilk. I really haven't paid a whole lot of attention to YouTube until I started trying to bring this site up to speed. And I would really, I think it's nice for the community to be able to discuss what's going on up here, but I also know that sometimes the community might not always be pleasant. And I think that it should be respectful when we're talking about our county government, and I don't want to have to be responsible for policing respectful language. And so that's something that I'm going to have to look at. But also, I did want to bring up that there's a site called Electronics. And I'm in communication with them, but there's a man that's supposed to call me back, and he hasn't yet. And I believe that other counties in Georgia use this site. And they can either do live streaming, or they can back things up and put a link that everything is in the cloud, so you don't have to maintain a bunch of bandwidth and handle that. And according, at least to the information on their website, it's very affordable. And if the county's interested, I will look at this further and come back with more information, or I can give this information over, this phone number over to the county, and you can research it further. I'd actually like to look at it because I'm not optimistic enough to think that you're that interested, that you'll look that hard. But I really think that this might be a little bit better than YouTube, because YouTube is very slow. And I actually believe that the public really wants to know what's going on here. Harris County is kind of far away. Hamilton is situated at the end of country roads in Harris County. And there's a lot of deer, and our meetings are late in the evening, and people have to travel usually from Columbus, where they work. And I hate to say it, but going to the commission meetings is not what people really want to do after they work long days. I find that I'm interested in what happens to my tax dollars. I'm interested in what my elected officials are doing. But I find it to be a big pain coming to see what's going on. And all of the people that I tell that we're doing this to are really interested in the fact that we're doing it. And they really want this to happen. But they don't have the time and the inclination to drive down the country roads to see what's going on. And maybe they're not going to look at every meeting. But I believe they really want to know what you're doing. And they're happy with the job that you're doing, but they'd like to see how you're doing it. And I'm sorry if this ran on a little bit longer than I intended, but if you'd like, I would really like to look at this and come back with another report on electronics, because I think the YouTube is a good plan for right now, but to get started. But I think that this is probably a better plan, and other counties are doing this now, and we should come up to modern times and try this. Thank you.
Before you run ahead, and thank you, and I hope you're right, that people are interested enough so that they would love to have more of them do that.
Before you run away, hiding in the back of the room there, the bald, no, yeah, there's only one bald head. No, never mind. Bald head and a beard. Andy, you're getting a little thin there. Jason Johnson, has been doing a Friday blog on YouTube now for over a year. And I think he's kind of got it down. So, you know, you might tackle him before he tries to leave the meeting. So, just a suggestion.
Thank you.
Just a comment on the Harris County Concerned Citizens. There is another Harris County out there that's a little bit bigger than we are. It's Harris County, Texas, and it's Houston.
Don't think I haven't found that.
Yeah, so a lot of times if you do a search on YouTube or whatever, you'll get Harris County, Texas, because like I
Our
said,
site
that's
is
Houston.
HCGA.
Yeah. So you've already gotten to that point. We need to obviously distinguish ourselves.
All right, thank you. Okay, next, Charlene Mellenbeck. Ms. Mellenbeck.
My name's Charlene Mellenbeck, 55 West Pine Lake Drive, West Point, Georgia, 31832. As loud as I talked at the last meeting, a lot of people said they couldn't hear me, so if your mics are turned on, hopefully. I just wish to state my thoughts regarding the appeal of Mr. Walker. I don't know either party, but as an objective viewer, taking a lot of notes and listening left me with many questions and more after rereading my notes. The warden stated procedures, but he never stated training and classes. Mr. Walker attended to prepare for promotion. He did say he was expected to know it all since he had been there for 11 years. Since when does any supervisor assume an employee knows the new job without proper training? He stated 5 reasons to be fired and was allowed to say 80+ once said. Since none were documented, they should not have been valid, including the 5. All infractions should be discussed and documented and signed by a supervisor over the employee, and the employee is also to sign it. Or it is to state this employee refuses to sign it. And the employee should receive a copy and the original put in the employee file. I just want to state, as being a boss at one time, 15, 20 years ago, this was even procedure way back then. Why would the warden fire a long-time standing employee, especially after sending him many texts stating he's doing a good job? I question others who were in attendance over the next few days. I was not the only one who walked away having the feeling that Mr. Walker was set up, since one man's name frequently came up. I'll call him Mr. T. After the automobile had been checked out and cleared, and Mr. T was the last one in the car, after it had been searched upon taking Mr. Walker home, the paper wasn't on the desk until later and the same man had the paper Mr. T had it in his possession previously. Furthermore, if the warden was a good boss and supervisor, he would have counseled and documented with supervisor signatures and employee signatures, along with making recommendations as how to correct the problem with the employee and or send the person to more training. Why wasn't the warden in charge of the Georgia inspector when he came to the prison? A good boss would not have taken another employee off his designated shift for inspection, but would have taken the responsibility for his position. The warden stated that, which was sad, the prison was given many F ratings in different areas. Why? Poor leadership? Improper training on all levels? Unqualified leadership? Questions I have. Also, the warden, if he was a good leader, would, when asked if he would work with Mr. Walker if the council decided so, the warden, being a fair county employee, should have replied, "I will honor and abide with your decision," instead of stating, no, he would not work with him. Questions. Maybe the jail operations need to be scrutinized and audited. Maybe some unethical things are going on. Did Mr. Walker find out something? This is something I heard from someone else. Are food orders not going to feed the prisoners, but some of it being dispensed to other people? I do hope you have not left Harris County in for a large lawsuit, since Mr. Walker could go to the ACLU and NAACP. This could cost the county quite a bundle of money due to failure of poor upper management. I just want to give my feelings on it. Thank you.
All right, next new business, insolvent list, clean up tax commissioner's books. I have in your packet a list of 13 insolvent requests. Unless anyone feels otherwise inclined, we'll handle all 13 of them at once. If pull out, please say so.
Please pull out the third one, which is Parscape LLC.
All right. Anybody else want to pull one out? Okay.
Just curious, Jim, why do you want to pull that one out?
I think they have company vehicles on the property that they keep on the property.
You say vehicles, trucks, cars,
Vehicles with Parscape on it.
on it?
Yeah.
You said that it may have some assets. Is that-
Yeah.
All right. John, how much depth do I need to read out on each one of these?
I don't think it's necessary to read them all. You know, we could, it's this, on the agenda list, you can take a motion to approve the insolvent request list, as made by the, I assume by the tax commissioner, by all of them except deleting Parscape LLC.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, we got a
All except number 3, Parscape LLC.
motion and a second for all of number 3. Okay, so we got a motion and a second. Any discussion at all? All in favor, please signify by raising your hands. All right, motion carries. Now, number 3, Jim, will you do some further investigation on that one?
Investigated.
I mean, I think with knowing that there are vehicles on that property,
Well, we should be able to tag numbers, see how they're registered, and
yeah.
we should be able to find out if it's on the, so it's,
And you say on the property, is that on this Red Oak Lane property?
Yes.
In the Pine Mountain property, okay.
It has, at least they have had vehicles the last 2 times I've been by there.
Business was in Alabama. Okay. All right, so if Greg, you pass that on,
Yes, sir.
direct them to see about that.
Yeah.
We voted on the others, yeah. And that one, we just pull out and do more research. Okay, next item is airport committee. When we first took over the operation of the airport from Callaway Gardens, we voted on and established a committee of 3, which was the county manager and 2 commissioners. Those 2 commissioners were me and Joe Manning. Jim Woods, when Joe Manning retired, Jim Woods was assigned to that committee. So that was our airport committee. A few years later, the Harris County Chamber of Commerce decided to form an airport committee. And that committee operated for a little while, and then it was a little bit confusing with 2 different committees with the airport, so we decided to merge those 2 committees, which we have done. and have been operating as a merged committee ever since. The makeup of that committee has been Greg Wood is county manager, Jim Woods, Harry Lang, and then on the other side, Bill Champion is the airport manager, Phil Everly, who is the airport consultant, Nancy McMichael is the county clerk, and then two from the Chamber of Commerce, which were Linda Dawson and Court Dallas. We've never formally established that committee in the places they're on. And this is being brought to the commission to look at that and see if we want to more formally designate the positions that are to be on that committee.
And we did receive a letter from the president of the chamber requesting that chamber position not necessarily be by person, but be by position for whoever the full-time paid president is.
Okay. Is that something that...
That's on the bottom here.
Is that something that the chamber voted on themselves?
Yes, Mr. Courthouse is here as well as Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The executive committee, this year I'm the volunteer chair for the chamber, and the executive committee voted to, just being consistent. Linda had started that with the chamber here a few years ago, did a great job with it. But with her replacement of Jason, we feel it would better help the community and the chamber if we move that to whoever the paid chamber president would be for that position. And we made that request to Greg Woods.
Your specific recommendation then, or vote, was that it be the president of the chamber or the president and the designee, or what?
Yes, sir. The way the chamber works as far as it goes, we have our paid position is called the president. Then we have a board of directors who are all volunteer, and we have a chairman of the board and the executive board. We're asking for the paid, whoever that might be at the time, the paid president of the chamber to be on that committee.
Be the representative of the chamber. Okay. All right.
I do have a question, and it involves Mr. Dow's. I believe was it the last meeting that we approved a 20-year lease, ground lease to Mr. Dow's, and this one, my concern is I just don't want there to be any type of conflict of interest that would put the county or Mr. Dow's in a difficult situation. I guess he could always accuse himself if there was some issue that would be a conflict. I just wanted to bring that up as a matter that we need to look at.
And I think it's a valid point, though, but as I understand it, court would no longer, if we went with this, court would no longer be on there. It would just be Jason Johnson as the president of the chamber.
That was all.
Any discussion among commissioners? Chew on, or you want to go ahead and deal with it now?
Do it now.
All right.
And staff would like to guide.
All right. Jim table.
But it's just for some juncture, staff would like guidance so we know formally how we're supposed to deal with the airport committee. It's a little confusing for us.
All right, table to the next meeting, Jim? Okay. Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda, moving into the county manager's position. Is any other new business, first of all? All right, moving into the county manager's position, there's an item on there, door-to-door solicitations.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we received a letter from Sheriff Jolly pointing out that there are issues in the county with having door-to-door solicitors that are unlicensed. We really don't have any control over them. He felt that it makes residents uncomfortable. It gives opportunity for people potentially to be casing houses for less than honorable situations. And it's not attached here, but he gave us a couple of ordinances that are in place in other counties. They're dealing to register door-to-door solicitors, so that when somebody comes to your door, they're gonna have something that shows that we're authorized to be here and we've been checked out. And he's requesting the commission to consider that. So if you give us a green light, then we'll go ahead and draft on those ordinances and bring it back to the commission.
Does this cover politicians knocking on your door?
Is that considered solicitation? I don't know.
Solicitation for a vote, I would imagine. I think it's a good idea, and I think it's something we ought to move forward with and looking to do something. In addition to taping all of our meetings, I get, I'm on Mr. Furin's email list, and I get quite frequent emails from Jim about folks in the community concerned about suspicious characters knocking on the door, and they really don't appear to be legitimate. So I think it is a concern in the county, and if we can do something about it, I think we ought to move forward and try to do something.
I agree.
I assume this is something, I mean, you know, if you're licensed anywhere in the state of Georgia, then that license goes with you, so you don't have to have a specific license from the county, unless you're talking about here that they have to register with the sheriff's department or something like that, and then I guess they would have to have some kind of paperwork if they show.
Correct.
Look, it's like when most laws, you know, legitimate people go to register. The problems are the ones that won't. They're the ones that have created the problems. But nevertheless, I still think we ought to try to do something.